EB has always felt like Pete loves to take shots at the Redskins, and if Eric was here today, he'd be upset because Pete Prisco says that Kirk Cousins may be the most overrated NFL player in 2017, and he poses the question, is Kirk Cousins really worth the money? He's going to play on the franchise tag, make about $24 million, and last year, of course, he put up some great numbers, but it's a team that didn't make the playoffs. The last 2 seasons combined, his average is right around 27 touchdowns and 11.5 picks. That's pretty damn good. It may not be, 40 touchdowns, but he's been pretty damn good.
What's his rationale for being the most overrated? That's a big statement when you say
basically just
one guy is the most overrated player.
He's basically saying that he's not a top 2 or 3 quarterback, and he wants top 2 or 3 quarterback type of money. But that's just what the market is at this point. If he's not going to get it from the Redskins, and by the way, he's basically getting it from the Redskins on a year-by-year basis. If he hits the market, quarterback-starved teams, they're going to throw money at him in the range of $25 to $30 million per season.
That's true.
It's just the way the market has exploded for quarterbacks.
He does point this out, and we can open up to callers 800-636-1067. Is Kirk due for a letdown season? When you analyze what happened last year, Prisco points out in his article on CBS Sports, after having 6 300-yard passes, so for more than he's throwing for over 300 yards, including 2 over 400. He had just 1 in the final 5 games last season, as the Redskins were pushing for a playoff spot. He had 5 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions in those games, going 2-3 as the Redskins folded. So if you just break down last year, the stats were heavy early on. Now, 11 games is a significant sample size, and that's 2/3 of the season. But those last 5 games, rather pedestrian, and the last 5 games, which really meant a lot, the team crumbled, and he was less than impressive, which is 5 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. So what Prisco is wondering, we know, look, none of these guys are worth the money. And we know he's not a top 5 quarterback, but he's getting paid as a top 5 guy because that's the way the franchise tag works, could he be due for a letdown? I don't think he is, but I think you can make an argument because it's a great unknown what he's going to get at wide receiver. We think that Terrell Pryor is going to fill in admirably for Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson. We don't know. He put up some numbers in Cleveland, but we don't know how he's going to fit in. And we'd like to think that Josh Doctson, after sitting out basically the entire year, but being a first-round pick, is going to put up some numbers this year. But again, we don't know.
Correct.
I know, but I think if you can cobble together over 1,000 yards and find the end zone 4 times with the worst quarterbacks in the history of the world throwing you the ball like Pryor did last year in Cleveland, it's a massive upgrade coming here with Kirk Cousins delivering you the ball. So I wouldn't worry so much about him. Doctson, you worry about his health, obviously, after his rookie season. But that just means a bigger workload for guys like Reed and Crowder. And those guys are going to catch a ton of balls, especially with Garçon and Jackson.
And they're going to
So
run
you
more
bet
bit.
against letdown.
I think if there's a letdown, it'll be slight. I don't think it's some sort of massive letdown for Kirk's numbers. I could be wrong.
I mean, Prisco has a good point in that he did not play great in the last 5 weeks. He didn't play well in the Carolina game. He certainly didn't play well in the Giant game.
Right.
That they needed to win. He's right that he's not a top tier quarterback and shouldn't be paid more than, the Aaron and Tom Brady's of the world. But Derek Carr's not top 2 or 3 quarterbacks either, and he's making more than those guys. It's just what the market kind of dictates, right?
Now he did this for every team. So he had, 30 guys who are most overrated and most underrated players.
Yeah, but he's got Cousins at the top, doesn't he?
I think so. That's where the majority of the article is. But, I don't think he's slandering Kirk Cousins. He says he's a good quarterback who shouldn't be getting great quarterback money. So good, not great. Do you think he could be due for a letdown?
That's just what free agent quarterbacks get if they're franchise quarterbacks.
Where are you on that question about a possible Kirk letdown? You don't expect it, I don't think.
I think that he's going to throw, the last couple years, he's got, 54 touchdowns and almost 9,000 yards. He had 4,900 yards last year and 25 touchdowns. I think he'll be in that same range. I don't know if he'll get to 5,000 yards. I think he'll be in the 44 to 4,800 yard range. I think they're going to run a little bit more this year. And like you said, we just don't know about the receivers.
And I think that would be a positive for Kirk Cousins if you ran the ball a bit more. Don't put all of it on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think they're going to run more. I'm not buying it. Gruden's not that type of coach. Doesn't get sized to run that much.
They've got a good line. They drafted a running back. I just think that they got a new OC. I think they'll run a little bit more. That's all.
But Gruden's calling the plays.
I get it, but every coach wants balance. I think you have to have some balance. And they got a good run blocking offensive line. Why wouldn't you use that?